Hi everybody to our car enthusiast out there. Um, I know lots of my husband knows that lots of stealing happen with the car catalytic converter. So my husband made a diagram, made a plan over it how to connect it. When the car is on parking and someone wants to go under the car and steal the catalytic converter, so the alarm or the tilt sensor will connect to the other alarm and it prevents the types or the thieves to steal the catalytic converter. If you're interested or you want to check it out, you can message my husband directly on his email ad. Check about it. It makes a difference. It makes your car safe and it makes your pocket trouble free. Have a lovely day. Wish you to support my husband's project and hope you will have a good time making it in your own time. Thank you. Have a lovely day, everybody.
I would like to now explain in the simple way how the car alarm works. We have here a car battery that supply the power plus and minus. If any of the switches that represent a door, in my car there is 4 doors, boot switch and bonnet switch. If any of these switches will close, it will close the electric circuit and it will supply the power to the car alarm, and the car alarm will activate and make sound. By adding the tilt sensor, we add a new device that can close the electric circuit. If when the tilt sensor sense any movement, it will close the switch here and it will close the electric circuit and supply the power to car alarm, and the alarm will activate and make sound. We can add another new device, any device that will close the electric circuit. For example, shock sensor. Of course, the car alarm is more complicated, have more electronics inside, but this is the easiest way to explain how the car alarm works. So here is the switch, the door switch. When the door are closed, the switch is open. When the door are open, the switch is closed. Yes, so when you open this rubber, then you find the bolt, and then when you undo the bolt, the switch you'll be able to pull out, or if you want, you can open this side. It's quite easy to open this side, and then you can connect the one wire to the door switch wire, and I run my wire through this way, and it's quite easy to open. You just lift up like that, and then you put your wire there, and I run the wire all the way there, and this is where the blue wire, that's my wire from the doors this way, and you see the blue wire, that's the door switch wire. This is how it looks when I connect all these two relays and the sensor. Also the switch. Two wires. One is gonna go to Constance Live. That's my Constance Live. That will be connected to the plus that is coming from the ignition. When the ignition key is on, this is my negative. That is the Constance negative. Don't mind the color. I know it's a little bit misleading because it's red, and I have here fuse as well. I connect the fuse. It looks a little bit complicated, but it's not that complicated. I connect it according to the diagram that I show you. I will try to fix this some way under the driving steering wheel so it will hold. This sensor have to be in level as much as possible, and as you see there is top side, so it's important that the sensor will be the right way position in the car to work well. I have here as well already mark my wires that will go to the sensor. The sensor have 3 wires. I have there's a connection, I have this special wire, and I have 3 wires, blue, red and black. So to the black will go the minus, to the red will go plus, and to the blue color the blue wire. This is the relay that I'm using. Make sure that the relay that you are using, it's good quality. This one have up to 30 amperes load, so that's more than enough for our project. I will go now to my car and I will look for the Constance Plus, the one that always stays on, the plus supplies, positive supplies. Also, I will try to find the plus, the positive, from the ignition. When the ignition is on, when I put the key to the ignition and I turn on, switch on, then I will need to have the plus positive. I will use this my multimeter, and my setting is like this. It's DCV and 20. It's showing 20. That's when I touch the negative and positive, it should show me around 12 or 13 volts. So that's my settings, the multimeter settings. And I will use this, they call piggy fuse or something, and I will plug this to the 3 slots in the fuse box, and this is how I'm gonna check for the positive, the Constance positive and the ignition positive on my fuse box. This is what I'm gonna use. I will connect this wire to the red, to the plus multimeter wire, and the other wire, this black wire, I will connect somewhere to the earth, like touch some car body where I can find earth, and this is how I connect the multimeter and the settings. I fit my relays, and I don't know if you can see because it's quite dark there, but now I'm gonna connect my wires. This is gonna be my earth, the ground, constant ground, with the fuse, just in case. That's gonna go to my fuse box, and that's my wires that will go to the sensor wires, will connect with sensor wires. I took the picture of my fuse box under the steering wheel, and this is slot number 13 in my car. The slot number 13 is free, and slot number 7 it's free. To number 13 I will connect Constance power, positive, always on, and to number 17 I will connect the ignition on, positive, only on when the ignition is on. There's important information I would like to tell you, that when you connect this piggy fuse to the fuse box, make sure that this side is in the bottom where the plus is, where the power is, and then you put the fuse to this slot here. So when you put the fuse to this slot, the power will go through the fuse box, the slot number 13 or 7, it will go this way through the fuse, and go to the project. Supply the project. You don't want to put the fuse here, because if you do, then you will make connection like that between these two sticks, and you don't want to supply the other side of the connection, because you don't know what is on the other side. So leave that slot free, so there will be no bridge between these two sticks. The power will go this way through your fuse and then to your project. So make sure that the bottom connections, you see the bottom one, this is the bottom one, it will be in the bottom slots. It will be here. This is where the power is, and the power will go through the pin, the bottom pin, then through your fuse, and then through the wire to your project. This is how it looks when I connect the power supply to the fuse box. Number 13 and number 7, ignition plus. This is the Laserline car alarm 848 digital tilt sensor, universal fitment. It means that it will work with every car alarm that is negative input. Also can work with positive input, but then you will need to add another relay. The tilt sensor have 3 wires, blue, black and red. The red, that is positive power supply. The black wire is the negative power supply, and the blue wire is the wire that you will send the signal to the car alarm. It will trigger the car alarm. This is the blue wire. So this is the box, the sensor, where the sensor came, and this is the cable and the sensor, and there is the special connections. It's just back in. Okay, now I have to think where I'm gonna put this sensor, fix the sensor, because it needs to be flat as much possible. I open the side, this side, and then the sensor wire, I went through this way. I open this, and then this is the sensor wire. Yeah, this is the sensor wire, and I went through this. I undo the screw of the seats so I can lift up, and then this is where the sensor are gonna fit. So that's the front seat, the driver front seat, and under the driver front seat I will fix the sensor. In the box there was 2 sides sellotape, so I will use that one to fix the sensor. Also I will use screw just to make sure that it's gonna be properly screwed to the under the seat, front the driver seat. This is how I fixed the sensor. This is the W side tape, plus I use some small screw. It's very well attached, so it shouldn't be a problem. This is how I run the cable from the sensor to the alarm. Under the driver seat, and then it's going inside there, but I make sure that there's no the cable is loose, there's no sharp edges that will cut through. So now the cable went out here. I'll push it back and all the way to here. This cable coming from the tilt sensor, and now I'm gonna connect the wires from my alarm from the relays. I've got ready, so I just need to now connect them.